Good morning. Happy New Year to my soul tribe, to my fam, to all my subscribers, and anyone watching this video. This is my first video that I'm making in 2026. It's good to be here, especially with how rough of a year I had last year. And although I am cautious, I am hopeful that things are going to be a lot better. I mean, I'm already in a much better situation than I was a year ago. I also pray and hope that you all are in a much better situation as well. I wanted to start the year off with something kind of personal, and hopefully this helps you. Hopefully this is reassuring. But I need y'all to make your mental health your top priority this year. Like, when you focus on your mental health, I promise you everything else follows. I mean, your physical health is just as important, but if you're not working on your mind and trying to get it together, it's gonna make things a lot more difficult. And I'm telling you all of this because my partner asked me to go back to therapy, which I've never had an issue with going to therapy. It's always been a cost issue, or like in 2024 when I was in therapy, my therapist ended up getting another job, and my therapy office kind of stopped making appointments for me because I owed them $80. So it's like, that's why I had to stop going for a while, because I couldn't really afford my co-pays at the time because I was really low on money. But you know, because of the situation that I had to deal with, which I already know that I've just come to the realization this morning, like, no one is ever going to see what I experienced through my perspective, because they're not me, and they were not there. They weren't there. So, and I know that some of the things that happened really affected the people around me, which I'm grateful that, you know, like my partner and his family, you know, are still supportive, or they are now, I should say. But it's like, no one will truly ever understand what it is that I was going through, because it's like, for those of you that have been gang stalked, it's psychological warfare that is designed to make you scared and paranoid, and that's exactly what happened to me. Like, I could not differentiate between who to trust and who not to trust, and now I completely shut down. And I'm fully prepared to tell a therapist that, like, especially going through what I was going through, like, I may not call it gang stalking, I may not tell them that's what it is, but I may tell them, you know, individually what I was dealing with from all of these, you know, all the different people in my life, you know, from my shitty landlord to the toxic workplace to to my family just kind of up and not supporting me the way I needed to be supported. And it was hard. Like, all of that stuff happened all at once, and then it was like a trickle down of just despair, of like everything just completely dismantling. And that shit can make a person really go crazy. And that's the thing, I think that people, I was thinking of it this morning, like, Dave Chappelle said something in one of his comedy specials once, and said, like, calling somebody crazy, like, you shouldn't do that because it's dismissive. Like, you don't know what that person really had to go through. And it's like, it's true. Like, people are so quick to say, oh, well, they're just mentally ill, and oh, they're just crazy. But it's like, can you imagine how someone who has in the past thrived in many different ways, and then all of a sudden they start acting funny? You don't know what's going on with that person. And people, and they want to try to say, oh, it's because you're bipolar, oh, it's because you're schizophrenic, oh, it's because this. And you may have those, though. You may be schizophrenic, you may be bipolar, but it's like, that stuff a lot of times doesn't come out of nowhere. that is based, a lot of that stuff is based in trauma too. And you got to take care of you, because at the end of the day, a lot of people, even your friends and family, will be quick to just say that you are crazy and mentally ill and you need help. Even the ones that are abusing you, the ones that are taking advantage of you, that's what they want, okay? That is what these people want. They want everything that you had to endure and go through. They want that to be the reason why you are no longer, able to function in society. They want that to be the reason why you can't keep a job, because you keep lashing out at your employers, and that you keep having issues with other co-workers, and that you're showing up late and you're not doing your job because you're so paranoid, or you're worried about this and that. And that's what they want. They want you to cuss your neighbors out and get kicked out of your apartment for doing weird stuff. Like that's what these people want. Like, I need y'all to understand, there's a lot of people who would love, they would love to see your downfall. And I mean, in any way, shape, or form. And I know a lot of y'all are like, man, I already was going through a whole bunch. I didn't have no money. I was, some of y'all may have had issues with, keeping food on the table and things of that nature. And like, I was already hungry and, going through all of this. And like, what more do they want? No, they want you gone. Okay? They want you gone. They want you eliminated. Like, the fact that some of y'all even got a little bit still pisses some of these people off, because these people really don't want you to have anything. And when you're going through so much, when the enemy is on your neck and they really trying to take everything from you, I mean, fuck all the physical shit on this earth. Like, I'm not talking about any material shit. Like, yeah, that is hard to deal with when you've had a lot of material things that you've had to say goodbye to. But I'm talking about your health, your mental health, your sanity. Because once they're able to get it on record, like you having an episode, or you having you're like, oh, this person's just severely mentally ill. Like, the minute they can get you in the psych ward or get you in jail, like, usually that's an endless cycle. Most of the time, people who have stints in the mental health office, or they have stints in jail for, whatever minor infractions, a lot of times those things end up repeating themselves. And then people do just label you as being crazy. They label you as being, what's the word I want to use? Incompetent of being able to differentiate between reality and fiction and all this other stuff. Like, that's what they want for you. Because think about it, they would not be going so hard on you. They would, especially if you're being gang stalked, like, you would not be being gang stalked the way that they do that shit. They would not be doing that stuff the way that they do it if it wasn't to make sure that you essentially eliminate yourself. Because that's what it is. It's touchless torture. They monitor you, they watch you, they bug your homes, your apartments, you mess with your internet, follow you around everywhere. And it's an effort to make you feel unsafe, and to make you feel paranoid, and to not know who to trust and what to trust. And it's a scary thing. It's very, very scary. And it's crazy, because it's like, when I think about it, it's like, I almost lost my daughter over this shit. Because it's like, I did not want to trust my partner, because I did not know if he was a part of it or not, because it was so hard at the time to tell. And plus, we were not on good terms at the time, so I didn't know what to believe at the time. I did not know, and rightfully so. When I had people lying to me and doing weird stuff, like, it's not easy to go back from that. It's just not. It's not easy. And I feel like this, I've been feeling this tightness in my chest all morning, and why I woke up thinking about this, I don't know. But I really just want y'all to focus on mental health for real, because if you can keep your mental together, there's not much left that they can attack. Okay? Like, they can take everything from you, but if you can keep your mind together, and I know it's so hard, but if you can keep your mind together, like, you can really beat the system. I promise you that. And it's kind of funny because my partner said to me yesterday, like, well, you've been doing really good lately. Is that intentional? And I'm like, this is where I think that people get mental health misconstrued. It's like, if I was really, if my mental health was such an issue for you, like, you can't turn that stuff on and off. Like, people who are really schizophrenic and have schizophrenic episodes, they don't know when they're going to have a schizophrenic episode. It's like a switch happens. And, you know, they got to have good support systems around them in order to, you know, be able to be okay. Or they have to be aware enough, depending on the type of schizophrenia that they have, to know, like, oh, this is a hallucination, this, and so that they can help protect themselves. But it's like I'm being intentional as far as keeping myself calm. Like I told him, I said, well, I understand that I'm just doing what I told myself I wanted to do, which is be happy. And I said, no one else is responsible for that except for me. I'm the only person who can make myself happy. So yeah, something might irritate me, but that doesn't mean that I have to be irritated. That doesn't mean that I have to act irritated and take my frustrations out on whoever is around that's irritating me. I can keep that to myself, or I can walk away, or whatever it is I need to do. So I'm conscious of it. I'm very conscious of the way that I'm like, and I feel like that's not something that someone with severe mental health issues is capable of doing, because they are going to have an episode at some point. So it's like, that's what I'm saying, like, you got to take care of your mental health this year. And I think there's a lot of things that I definitely need to unpack in therapy, which is why I've decided, like, I'm not gonna fight him on that shit. Like, I know that it would help me, it would. But I also know that therapists don't have all the answers, because when there's a spiritual aspect to things, I know that they're not gonna go that far with me. So I'll do what I can and unpack what I need to unpack. But as far as my spirituality and all that stuff goes, I'm gonna leave that for here. But please take care of yourself this year. Make yourself, I mean, this is the year for you to be selfish, if anything, honestly. For everyone listening, like, this is your year to be selfish. And I'm saying that because y'all been given to people for so long. A lot of y'all have really, really big hearts. A lot of y'all have been fucked over by people who, quite frankly, really they would not piss on you if you was on fire. They will watch you burn, and they'd probably love it, actually. And I know that's hard to hear for some of y'all, but that's the truth. There are people out here who genuinely really don't care about you. And I need you to understand that it's time for you to take care of you, and your mental health is it. And I'm not saying everybody needs to go to therapy. If you feel like you're good without therapy, that's on you. I don't think there's anything wrong with talking to a therapist about some of your issues. Now, I don't think that you need to take all of your issues to a therapist, because sometimes I just feel like there's certain things that certain therapists just really don't understand. Especially those that are not, like, super trauma informed, or if they're not really informed on like racial issues or things like that. Like, you may need to find a different outlet for that, or just find a whole new therapist in general, which can be difficult. But just take care of yourself. Be happy. Please don't let these people tear you down. and make you feel like you ain't shit, because that's just not, that's the furthest thing from the truth. Because that's what a lot of them people will try to do. They'll try to make you feel like you're a failure and that you're nobody and that you're nothing. But it's like, I realized this morning, like, I'm not taking criticism from anybody who really ain't doing nothing with their life. I really don't care to be criticized by somebody who really ain't popping shit for real. Like, you being regular or being mediocre, and then you got something to say about me doing whatever it is I'm doing over here. Goodbye. 1188 as I say that. So, like, I'm not here for people's shenanigans and their bullshit. I don't care. Take care of yourself. Be selfish this year. Because at the end of the day, if it comes down to you or them, they always gonna choose themselves. So you should always choose yourself as well. Don't ever let these people trick you into thinking that because you're deciding to be more selfish as far as taking care of yourself, that's a bad thing. Like, because when it comes down to them, when they're calling y'all in the middle of the night, crying and all this other stuff, needing money, needing help with this and that, you getting up out your bed, and when you was sitting there by yourself alone last year, had nobody to call on, or people wasn't answering their phone, yeah, they want you to forget about that, which I'm gonna make a whole another video about that later too. They want you to forget about their transgressions against you, but they want you to still continue to be there for them. Yeah, not happening anymore. But I say all this to say, like, I love y'all, and I'm here to support y'all this year. Let's keep growing together, because that's all that matters at this point, is how are we becoming better for ourselves and for our communities. Because some of y'all are community leaders in the making. Some of you are on your way. You're really on your way to doing some big and bad things out here, okay? And I love y'all to death, okay? I love y'all. Thank you so much for supporting me. I can't wait to see how the channel grows this year. But I love y'all. It's your girl, K Divine. I'll see you later. Bye.